Hi everyone, this is Kunal Dewani, and today I have with me on the Kunal Dewani show Shreyas Kundra, the small entrepreneur, small business entrepreneur, not a money launderer, not a money launderer, and he has a sneaker business called the Hustle Kiqs. He started it when he was 15 and is going strong for 3 years as he's 18 right now, and he has so great plans to expand this business by 2035, especially in Canada.
Yeah, so I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to study in Canada and I'm trying to open my second branch of Hustle Kiqs. That's going to be hustlekiqs.ca and that's going to be exclusive for Canada. I'm still going to I'm going to hire an intern or something and continue in India as well for all you guys. But my main focus is going to shift to Canada. But yeah, let's see. Because the Canadian market has a lot of more options and a lot of more buyers and sellers than the Indian market because it's a well-built market. So I think expanding into Canada is going to be tough, but I feel that I can conquer it as well, just like the Indian market.
Difficulty is fun.
Yeah, difficulty is fun. I love challenges because grinding your way into it. It's fun, and I already have a head start for me because I know a few people in Canada who are going to help me. But then, yeah, I think Canada is going to be fun.
So this guy has already started building his network to expand to Canada in the next 13 years. So
It's nothing too crazy. So it's my lifelong dream. I want to open a sneaker store and a sneaker reselling store, not my own brand. Jordans, Yeezys and all, and it's my end goal to have a store, and it's going to take a lot of money. So I want to build the whole store using the money I earn from my side hustle, so that I don't have to burden myself on my regular salary and all, because salary नहीं मिलती
आजकल तो नहीं मिलती लोगों को.
आजकल नहीं मिलती, that's why. So I think it's going to be fun, but challenging as well. So let's see what happens, man. I'm really not sure. Abhi to I'm focused on this year.
90 seconds into the podcast, and we already know that you have this great plan in place and you have already started executing your goals for your plans for to be achieved by 2035.
Yep.
So let's rewind a bit and let's talk about Hustle Kiqs, like a sort of introduction for the audience who doesn't know, who hasn't reached your account till now. Like, for example, I don't know anything about Hustle Kiqs. So what would you tell me about that?
So I was 15 and 2019, I was in 10th boards there, and my parents, my friend bought a Yeezy. The Yeezy is a shoe designed by Kanye West, so I liked it. And this colorway was called Ocean Blue or something, I don't remember. Cloud White, yeah. Cloud White, and I really liked the looks of it. And I got into it, I started looking it up on the internet, and I found that this shoe cost 23,000 rupees on retail. And if I ask my parents, forget the shoe, I might as well get a shoe on my face right there for even asking them for 23,000. So I was like, yaar, kuch to karna hai, I want to buy this shoe, man. So I found out that these shoes, they're not for 23,000 anymore, because as soon as they sold out, they're selling for 30,000, 35,000. So now I'm thinking, people can actually, try and buy these shoes on retail and sell them for profit. So that way I can, make profit and then buy my own shoe. And it's not a bad thing to earn money. So, I was 15 and, I bought a couple of pairs from my pocket money. I tried selling them. I couldn't sell them. So fast forward it to 2020, March. Boards were over. My 10 boards were over. I was 16. I just turned 16. And then, there was a Yeezy drop. That was my first major this thing, and pandemic was on its way. It was actually 14 March 2021. 2020, I'm pretty sure about the date. It was Yeezy 350 V2 Desert Sage. That shoe changed the course for Hustle Kiqs, and that shoe, got me started. I earned 6,000 rupees on that shoe in 1 week. I sold it. It took me 1 week to sell that, but that 6,000 rupee profit, it was the driving power that I needed to continue Hustle Kiqs. And then unfortunately in the pandemic, as we know, the market got hit by the pandemic. I started the journey, and there was a halt already, so I was a bit pessimistic about the future. But then, I waited, and yeah, people actually took sneaker reselling as a hobby. And little did I know that as the pandemic went on, this market actually boomed. So in 2020, when everyone was in their houses, people started looking for new hobbies, and sneaker reselling, sneaker buying, and collecting hype shoes like this one, like this is a Jordan one. So people wanted these shoes to flex and all. So I thought, ki now I can start again. Then I bought with the money that I earned, I bought a T-shirt. I sold that T-shirt for 1,000 rupee profit. So there are a couple of T-shirts that sell for a lot as well. So there are T-shirts that sell for 7, 8,000, 9,000. I earned little money by selling T-shirts. Then I made my first 12,000 rupees. I had 12,000 rupees of myself, and then I asked 20,000 rupees from my father he gave me a loan on 12%. So
Let's get into the economics and how you expanded into the t-shirts later. Let's start with the base. Yeah. Let's simplify it a bit for the audience.
Cool.
Hustle Kiqs is about reselling
Yeah.
the sneakers.
Reselling the sneakers.
Reselling sneakers.
So after I took the loan from my father, I had 30,000 in bank. So my hustle started then. I used to buy a shoe every day, sell that shoe immediately. For me, cash flow was more important than my profit margin. I used to buy a shoe every day, sell the shoe. I had 2,000 rupee profit, so that's like 32 plus 2, it's 34. So I have 34,000 now. So I buy an expensive shoe, a slightly expensive shoe, sell that for 2,000 profit, and then I have more money. So I kept, kept selling shoes day in day out. I used to sell 5-6 shoes a day to really get myself into the market, and I did that for experience. And then finally, when I got the experience, I started buying shoes and then selling them. So first, I didn't used to buy shoes. I used to sort of consign them. I did buy them, but what I did was I took the money first, and then I ordered the shoe, and then the guy would ship the shoe out. So the third person would ship the shoe out. So it was something like drop shipping, I guess, but then it was all for experience. And then when I finally set my feet into the market, I then started selling exponentially, and then the business boomed. And by 2021 March, I had over 100 sales. Sales that weren't under my LLC, that were before the LLC. And then in 2021 April, May, my Hustle Kiqs page, it became a subsidiary of my father's business. So it boomed, man. From that point on, I had the money. I returned the loan back to my father, and then I just started, and I have done almost 70-80 lakh rupees in sales, and the profits been quite juicy as well. So it's been fun reselling shoes, but yeah, it's a hobby. But then I like to keep my pockets filled with some extra cash to spend here and there. So it was a good hobby to make a little money and.
I guess it's not just your hobby. The way you just gave this little introduction, this is what I call passion.
Yeah, it is a passion of mine. But then, pandemic to tha, but 12th bhi thi. And 12th, I'm a PCM student, guys. So not that good at PCM, especially. So I had to, put a little halt as well in between to pursue my studies. But then side by side I used to sell pairs, but it got slowed down. And in 11th I sold a lot of pairs, but as soon as 12th started, my parents they wanted me to stop. But then I won't say that I was selling shoes every day, but I slowed down. But then as soon as my 12th boards ended, which was like just
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, I picked it up like anything. I was like, I had a clear mindset ahead of me that भाई तेरे को दिन के 10 जूते बेचने हैं. You have to sell at least 10 shoes a day, else you're a failure. And I didn't make any profit. I used to sell shoes. Abhi se like 3 weeks ago only, I used to sell shoes for like 300 rupees profit, 500 rupees profit, and get myself back into the market. And then 10 shoes a day, you can add it up for 3 weeks. I think in these 3 weeks, I have sold at least 70-80 pairs of shoes, and I've bought for my own investment purposes or my own selling purposes. I've bought over 15-20 shoes. For for example, this Jordan one, I bought this shoe for around 15,500. That's the retail. I got lucky on retail. That's a whole new thing. So you basically have to, fill up some forms in order to buy a shoe for retail price, because these shoes are rare. You don't get them for retail just like that. You have to be lucky in order to get these. So I bought this for 15,500 and I just sold them for like 24k. So that's an 8,500 rupee profit. That's the best margin I've had in these past couple of days. So I think slowly, hitting on retail, buying shoes and selling them, slowly I started, gaining momentum, and now I'm back into the market with full power and, starting my own thing. Yeah.
So now I understand the meaning of hustle kicks.
It's all
Kicks
about
as in these shoes, these great kicks, and then the hustle means Shreyas Kundra.
Hustle
Selling
is-
10 pairs a day.
that's the hustle, man. If you have to put muscle behind your hustle to really, get yourself going. Because if you don't do that, then I don't think so there's any point. Because my ideology is that you either you full send the thing or you don't do it. Because
100% throttle.
you have to give your 100%. It's either 0% or 100%. There's nothing called 90%, 80%. That's for marks and all, bro. In this thing, you have to be. Fuck, if I don't put my 100%, then I'm not into it. Yeah.
100% focus, 100%
Yeah,
throttle.
over 100%, man. You have to be there.
So, you told me that you saw these shoes coming in for like 23,000, 25,000, and then your parents wouldn't buy them for you, and then when they were all sold out, they were reselling for 35k or more than that.
More than that, I have seen shoes drop for 15,000 rupees and sell for over a lakh rupees. So some collaborations like Off-White, Travis Scott, they sell for a lot of money. And of course, my parents are not going to buy me such expensive shoes. And if I want to buy them for myself, so firstly, I don't buy shoes for myself. I mean, I do, but like
But
not hype shoes.
very rarely.
Very rarely. I'm more into basketball shoes. That's another thing because I play a lot. But then yeah, I mean, my parents won't, they won't fund this hobby of mine just like that. So I knew if I have to, start this hobby of mine, fund this hobby of mine, I had to do it myself. So the loan was the most feasible way, because if I asked my father for a capital investment, then it would be his risk. But in the loan, this thing, it was my own risk. So I had to take that risk upon me, and it worked out pretty well, I guess. Yeah.
So before I come to the brand niche, like we'll talk a little about the brand niche, but I just want to mention one thing that you remember MC Sher from Gully Boy and the shoes he had, like this massive collection in his cupboard, and he locked them away.
I love them. That's what sneaker heads are. That's what sneaker heads are. If you're a sneakerhead like me, you're gonna love what you do. And sneakerheads, their most prized possession is their shoes. I keep my shoes so clean. Like for me, being a sneakerhead is not about expensive shoes. It's about loving shoes. I buy a shoe which is worth 5,000 rupees and I'm gonna love it more than my life. I clean that shoe. It's all about the passion. It's all about the game. And that guy, respect to that guy, he has shown respect to those shoes, because it is like that. Because those shoes, the shoes that he had, I saw a pair. I don't recall the name, but I saw a pair worth more than 30k in that closet. So I mean, it's Jeremy Scott Adidas pair or something. But I mean, props to MC Sher, man. Good reseller. I mean, a good sneaker.
Good sneaker
Good
head.
sneaker. Yeah.
So, in my first episode with Shaurya, by the way, shout out to him and Uthad.
Yeah, man. Crazy page, man.
Crazy,
I love that page.
Look, already I've got some fans, and Uthad has got some fans.
Yeah, bro. Love that page.
So, we laid a lot of emphasis on the brand niche, like why he started, particularly in art community. So, you told me about sneakers, but there was the same thing about t-shirts, hoodies. There are hoodies that are selling for low quality hoodies, but with good brand backing, good brand name, brand backing, which are like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 worth, or even more.
All the time.
So why only sneakers, shoes, and not hoodies? Like, why did you start with sneakers particularly?
I started with sneakers because that's where the big money was, and I was always looking for the big money. I wanted the cash in hand. So I mean, hoodies and all, they give you profit as well. They're good for quick flipping. In fact, just right now I closed a deal on 2 essential t-shirts just before this podcast, and they're going to give me like 2-3k profit. but shoes is what my market is. So at that point of time, shoes was the thing. So there are a couple of brands in clothing like ASSE, Anti-Social Social Club. Travis Scott has his own Cactus Jack branding, and then he's collabed with Nike as well. Drake has his own branding, OVO. So for example, if there is a rapper or a famous personality behind that brand, then that thing tends to sell out really quick. And anything that has more demand than the supply, then obviously people are going to pay for it. But in clothing per se, the supply is a little higher, so the prices, the profit tends to be a little lower in some cases. There's one good example of a brand that gives you crazy profit on clothing, that's Supreme. So they used to have these box logo t-shirts and box logo hoodies. If you're lucky enough to get one of those t-shirts at retail, which was around 7-8k if I'm not sure, these t-shirts would sell for like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000.
So basically, all these hoodies, these t-shirts, or even some of these shoes are for flipping, not for your personal use.
If you're a hype beast, then I think people wear these as well to to flex their income status, their wealth status on social media, and that's a real thing now. So if you want to become a social media influencer, if you want to influence people, then you got to show that money, right? So that's where the money is, and people love that these days. So yeah, I think it's more for flipping, but not really for copying them for yourself. But people do that a lot as well.
While you were speaking, I heard this sneakerhead lingo. One was hypebeast, one was retail, or basically reselling lingo, retail, and one was consignment.
Yeah, consignment.
So what do these three mean? Like I don't know. Most of my viewers don't know. So help us through that.
Sneakerhead typical example. You can, if you see someone grabbing a new pair of shoe and smelling it, then that guy is a sneakerhead. A sneakerhead is a person who has his mind occupied towards sneakers, who can only think about sneakers, and who loves shoes. Who loves shoes for what they are, who loves wearing his shoes and collecting shoes as an investment or as his own personal use. So sneaker is basically someone who just loves shoes, loves the way the shoes are. So that's what a sneakerhead is. Hypebeast is a person who doesn't care much about the history of the shoe. So for example, a sneakerhead would care a lot about how the shoe originated. For example, the shoe that I'm wearing right now, I'll get it off for you guys. So this is a Nike Dunk Low Siempre Familia. This costs around 10 to 12,000. I got it for damn cheap because you know what I do. So this pair has a linkage to the Mexican sneakerheads. The Dunk Low Siempre Familia. It's a lizard skin shoe, and the Dunks in general have a lot of respect in the market because they were the first basketball shoes to be ever popularized by Nike, and then they were skateboarding shoes. So these shoes have a lot of history to them. But what a hypebeast will do is he won't care about the shoe, the history. He'll just buy the shoe to flex flex his money and all. He won't really care about. I mean, I respect that as well because obviously they are my buyers. So the more the number of hypebeasts, the better it is for me. So I don't really care if someone is a hypebeast or not. But yeah, I mean, if someone loves shoes for their history, their origination, their origin. I'm sorry, their what goes behind the scenes to make the shoe, then that guy is a sneakerhead who wants to know it all. But
so hypebeasts don't care about the brand. Like
they don't care about the brand.
This is some unbranded shoe that I'm wearing.
Yeah, that's totally
but
cool.
if this is quite popular with your stories on Instagram and it's selling for 30,000, this shoe, I bought it for 1,500 and you're selling this for 30,000.
Yeah.
So hypebeasts will buy it.
Some hypebeasts will, yes. They will.
Damn.
They will. But the thing is, hypebeasts are not dumb, man. They're not that dumb. Obviously, they'll search the websites and all. They'll look for the price.
I mean, this shoe is selling for 30,000 everywhere.
So then they'll buy it. If they're getting it for 28, 29, that's relatively lower to the market price. They'll grab it like that because they wanna hypebeasts are usually wealthy people. They wanna flex their money. They wanna show their income status. They wanna flex on people. Okay, I have got this shoe. Do you have this one? No, you don't. So it's same word. That's what hypebeasts are. They want to flex their money, right? So I don't really, I have a lot of respect for hypebeasts. I have a couple of friends who are hypebeasts, but I think being a sneakerhead is more interesting and it's more of a passion and hobby as compared to hypebeast. Hypebeast is it's like I don't know how to explain a hypebeast.
Rather more superficial person.
Superficial, exactly. He's right. Being a sneakerhead it's just a true passion, man. It's
So basically, a high beast is a superficial person who buys shoes for their luxury of it,
exactly.
but a sneakerhead has some sort of emotional connection.
That's the word I was looking for. Sneakerhead. For me, if this was my shoe, I would love it. I would literally, I would keep it close to my heart and all. And now to explain what a high beast really is, I'll show this shoe. This is a Crocs collaboration. As you can see, it looks pretty shit to me. I mean, I don't like this one, but I love it. I don't like this one for the looks of it, but I love it because this gets me the money, right? This gets me like 2,000 to 3,000 per pair.
Spoken like a true businessman.
I mean, it's all about the hustle, man. So I don't see any good concept behind it. People love it, but 90% of the people who love this shoe are usually hypebeasts because this shoe has a lot of hype and a lot of craze for it. So people won't get into the history of this shoe. They'll just buy it for flexing the shoe, and they wanna show that they have money. So this retails for like 7,500 if I'm not wrong, and it's selling for like 12k, 13k. So it's a pretty good shoe.
So tell me a little about these Crocs. This is a collab between Nike and Crocs.
No. I'll correct you. It's a collaboration between this fashion artist or an artist called Saleh Bembury. He's a well-respected member in the streetwear community, in the street art community. He designed this with Crocs. It's a collaboration, just like me and Kunal are collaborating right now. He collaborated with Crocs to get his own design, and then they both, Saleh Bembury and Crocs shared a profit of these shoes. And it's a good way to increase your brand value because Crocs never had a driving power behind their brand. For example, Nike has Travis Scott, Drake, DJ Khaled, Michael Jordan. They have people who are they have revolutionary people behind their shoes. Who are there to back that brand, to rep that brand. Crocs never had someone. Crocs actually have Post Malone. If you're into Post Malone, he has had some collaboration with Crocs, but they don't sell that well. But this is the first time I'm seeing a good resale market from a Crocs pair. So I'm quite excited for this one as well. It's a pretty good.
So tell me a little more about these Crocs, this collaboration. How did they come up with this design? Like it's different from the normal Crocs that we see in the market.
So Saleh Bembury, he's an out-of-the-box artist, right? He wants to do things differently. So obviously it's sort of a skeleton sort of vibe, a bony vibe. I'm not sure about that word, but he created something out of the box, and I like the idea. But I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what went behind this shoe because I think even he didn't know what he's doing by looking at it. I mean, it's a cool shoe, but for me, I don't. For the Crocs, I care a lot about these. These are Jordan ones, man. I love this shoe. I'll probably read about 15 articles about this shoe, but I really don't want to get into that one because that one's only for profit, bro. That's gonna get me my bag, and I'm gonna walk away. So the history doesn't matter for that one.
So in some scenarios you're the sneakerhead, and in others
I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a passionate sneakerhead as well. I love sneakers for what they are.
So we talked about these Crocs, these Jordans. Are there other great shoes,
Yep.
golden era shoes that you might like to mention?
Kanye West,
Yeezys, obviously.
Yeezys are the golden era for Yeezys was early 2010s. Kanye West started with Nike. They had some lawsuit or some issue with Nike. But the Kanye West Yeezy collaboration with Nike, take a rough guess. I'll give you 2 seconds to guess. if you have an amount in your head, you're wrong, because a Kanye West X Nike sneaker, they sell the minimum price for a used pair of shoe is over 5 lakh rupees right now.
$5,000. More than that.
$5,000. If you find a good brand new $5,000 Nike X Kanye West collaboration, I'm ready with the money. I'm gonna buy it right away. Because they sell for $7,000-8,000. There's a pair
Dollars.
$7,000-8,000. Yeah, mind you that. There's a pair called Nike. It's a single tone pair. Nike X Kanye West Air Yeezy 2 Red October. It's red in color, and that shoe sells for over $15,000 brand new, and it's gonna keep increasing in value over time, because that shoe is very rare and there are hardly any dead stock pairs. Dead stock as in brand new pairs left. So yeah, they're pretty rare, and it would be a blessing for me to have a pair in hand and hold it and cherish that pair, because those shoes are real rare. And then the revolution came across when Kanye West signed the papers with Adidas, and then the rest is history, man. Because Yeezy, he started with Yeezy 350, and then he started with Yeezy Boot or something. Then Yeezy 350 version 2 came out, Yeezy 700, Yeezy 500, Yeezy 750 if I'm not wrong, Yeezy 380 came across. So he started a lot of Yeezy models, and now Yeezys are a little dead. They're starting to pick up again, and now what he has done is he's introduced Yeezy foam runners and Yeezy slides. So a pair of sandals or slides is selling for over 10,000 rupees. In fact, I have to go to Hoskas right after this podcast to pick up 2 pairs of Yeezy slides. I'll be posting that as well. So Kanye West has revolutionized sneakers in a very different way, because he's a revolutionary because of his ideas. His color palette is something which is really different. His colors are neutral, either they're neutral or they're too flashy. He's known for his single tone colors. For example, he'll sell a pair of all neon color slides. They'll retail for about 7K and they'll sell for 12,000, 13,000. Because people like the Kanye West name. They like the Kanye West branding behind it. They like the Yeezy name behind the shoe, and they want to pay a lot for it.
Yeah, that was one of my other questions. Why are they so well branded?
Because Kanye West, he's a well-renowned singer. First of all, his hits. There are some songs like Gold Digger or Flashing Lights. There are some songs which have popularized that guy. If I can say the N-word as well, N-word, bleep in Paris. That song is one of my favorite songs, and there are some songs which made that person great. So obviously when he started shoes, he's a fashion designer as well now. People buy those shoes because Kanye made them, and if Kanye made them, then people have to cop them. So it's the brand backing. So if I were to make a pair of Yeezys, and if I was to make a pair of Yeezys, no one would even buy. I mean, we won't be even talking about Yeezys if someone like Kunal or someone like me was to make a new pair of shoes. It would take a lot of marketing, a lot of branding, a lot of advertisement campaigns to actually get that pair into market, and still there would be no resale value for that pair, because Kanye West, his strategy was very, very simple: make limited number of pairs, make people go crazy for those pairs, and then sell those pairs out. And as soon as Yeezys drop, they sell out, because Kanye West has them. Kanye West produces very limited number of shoes. In some cases, he produces a lot of them, but no matter the supply, no matter the demand, they always get sold out. Why? Because Kanye West is the man behind the shoe. That's it. That's the only reason.
So basically, there's one step before making a limited number of shoes, and that is developing Kanye West's own personal brand.
Yeah, you have to get famous. If you wanna get a shoe that's gonna have a resale market, you have to get famous.
So one day, my personal podcast is very popular. 10 million followers, 10 million subscribers.
Yep.
And then I release a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
That will sell. If it's good design, good marketing.
I'd say the chances are 10%.
Damn.
10 to 15%, because you have to be really famous for that. Kanye West level famous is something that people like Post Malone, who had a collaboration with collabs. Do you know who J. Cole is? He's
No.
a singer. He's an Afro-American singer. He's really good. His songs are called The Middle Child. Some more songs. So he created a shoe with Puma. In fact, I have that shoe in my collection as well. I can show it sometime else. But that shoe, they didn't sell well. The branding was great. Puma is a great brand. The shoe looks good. Everything is good, but it didn't sell well. Cause why? Because J. Cole isn't as famous as Kanye West, and J. Cole has a lot of followers. I think he has 10-15 million on Instagram, and he has songs which have touched over 100 million, 200 million views. So still, you don't sell, because if you want to get into sneakers, if you want to get a shoe, if you want to make a shoe that's going to sell well, that's going to have a resale value and aftermarket value, you have to do something revolutionary, and that's not for everyone. I'll be really honest. I wish you all the best for that. I want you to do that, and I want you to give at least 100 pairs of those shoes to me for retail. I'll buy them all and then I'll resell them. I'll make sure I make a good profit on his shoes. But then you have to do something really big to sell your pairs, and I wish you everyone, even if you want to get into it, if you want to do something big, if you want to create your own shoe, go for it, man. But yeah, it's going to take a lot. In that case, you won't have to put 100%, you'll have to put your 200% effort in order to get that shoe into the market.
So basically you can do it, but you will make it only if you hustle more than he does.
Anyone, man. I'm not the benchmark over here. Benchmark is Kanye West, Travis Scott. You have to surpass those guys. Virgil Abloh. R.I.P. Virgil Abloh, man. He was the most iconic sneaker designer who had a tragic death this year or last year only, if I'm not wrong. This year only. And he popularized Nike. He popularized his shoes with Louis Vuitton, Nike and all. And he had his own brand called Off-White. And he created this collection called the 10 collection with Nike. It was a collaboration between his brand Off-White and Nike, and they sold out. And if you want to buy an Off-White shoe right now, it's probably going to
I suppose that was last year, because I saw a lot of stories about this person who made Off-White popular and the color Off-White popular as a brand. And I remember that clearly because that was before Formula 1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton had posted it, so that's why I remember that.
Yeah, that's when he passed away, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he started Off-White. I'm not sure when he started Off-White, but his collaboration, the 10 collaboration, was back in 2015, if I'm not wrong. And those pairs, man, they sold out. And after that, he collaborated with Jordan brand. He collaborated with Nike, and it popped off, man. If you want to buy it right now, the price is going to be at least 1,000% or a 1,500% markup from the retail price, because those shoes are rare, man. If you want to get hands on those shoes, you're going to have to do something really big. You'll have to earn a lot to really buy those shoes, because starting Off-White shoes, there are shoes which sell for 30,000, 35,000, but they don't have as much hype behind them as possible, because some of the Off-White shoes they sell for like 6-7 lakh rupees as well. They have a lot of hype behind them. For example, this shoe called Air Jordan 1 Off-White Chicago. If you want to buy that shoe, you can obviously contact me. I can get you that pair. No advertising over here. Okay, but that shoe, that's really, really rare. I mean, there are practically less than 1,000 brand new pairs left, and it's tough to get your hands on. Yeah.
So, you remember what was the original question we started with?
How did Hustle Kick start?
No, the lingo, sneaker lingo.
Sneaker lingo.
We came all the way till here. I mean, this discussion, I am completely into it. I don't know half the things he's saying, but I'm learning a lot, bro.
Thanks a lot. I'm really sorry. Right before the podcast, I'll be very honest. He came out for it. I told him that I go off topic sometimes, but I guess.
But I am pretty I like the conversation, and I am sure the audience will like it too. So I am totally in for that kind of convo.
No. Because if you know me personally, if you know me well, then I go off conversation a lot. That's one of my, something that I have to control, because obviously in my profession it won't help me a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking something...
This is another sign that this is not just a hobby but a passion for this guy.
Yeah, because I know a lot about
He can go on and on and on about this.
I can talk about like for hours at a go about shoes. You know, you give me any shoe, I'll have a look for like 15 minutes on the internet and I'll speak about for an hour because I'm into shoes and I can get behind the shoe and really think what the designer thought before making that shoe or releasing that shoe. For example, if you get this colorway in particular, if we have time, no doubt I can speak about for like 2 hours about this color palette. And I'm damn sure about that because this color palette, in 1985 when Jordan 1 released, it was Michael Jordan, the best arguably the best basketball player ever in history. His signature shoe, and this was a tribute to the Chicago Bulls. But he was this shoe was banned by the NBA. The colorway was banned by the NBA because it didn't match the uniform. So he had to get another pair out. That's an iconic colorway as well, and it sells more than this one. But this colorway is called the Bread colorway. Bread is BRED, black and red. So that's something technical. And then it's also known as the banned colorway because this colorway was banned, and after being banned, this shoe popped off, man. And the original one, this is actually packing leather. It's a premium leather quality. The original release for this colorway, they sell for like 70,000-80,000.
So this color, after being banned, this shoe after being banned, actually became popular and sold a lot.
Yep.
So this is something like you tell someone not to do something and then they do exactly that thing.
Yeah. And Michael Jordan, by the way, he paid NBA a set of fines in order to play in these shoes for a while.
Damn, that's marketing, bro. That was an investment, not fine.
And rest is history because right now this was Air Jordan 1 and right now Air Jordan 37 is about to release. They don't sell that well. They don't have a resale market. But Air Jordan 37, man, that dude came from Air Jordan 1 till Air Jordan 37. I mean,
so basically,
I think that says it all.
Yeah, that says it all.
37 years.
Michael Jackson went into offense.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Michael Jordan went into offense and he's one of the few basketball billionaires. Like he was the first basketball billionaire.
Basketball billionaire ever. The only active basketball billionaire
Kobe
is
Bryant.
LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very recent.
Yeah.
It was, I think, day before yesterday only.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant गलती से निकल गया.
You're right, because Kobe Bryant became a basketball billionaire 6 months after his retirement from the NBA, and RIP Kobe Bryant as well. He's one of my favorite basketball players.
I love his mama mentality.
His mama mentality was very simple. It's you versus you. It's what you do versus. It's not you versus someone else. Your competition is you, what you write now, and what were you a minute before, or an hour before, or a year before. So it's always you versus you. You have to compete against your past. You always have to improve what you did. For example, if I sold 10 shoes yesterday, I'm gonna sell 12 shoes today. So it's me versus me.
You know, I was about to mention King James. Kobe Bryant गलती से निकल गया मुझसे because he's one of the key players I remember. I knew King James because I posted about him a few days ago only when I saw the news. And in that news, and alongside that news in my story, I wrote that Gary Vee had predicted that King James, the way he's acting, the way he's doing his business and going about his sport, he will become a billionaire in 5 years. And that podcast was from 2016. And right now it's 2022.
LeBron James collaborated with Nike. He has a lifetime Nike this thing. The LeBron branding, LeBron branding is so great that now he's starting to collaborate with USA college basketball teams as well, and he is now an official brand partner of the team called Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University or something like that, FMAU, his basketball team. And LeBron James' legacy is so well written that this dude started from LeBron James 1, and now the LeBron James 19, the LBJ 19 signature shoes just released last year. and they retail for about 18,000 rupees. They don't have a resale market for them because they're available on Nike all the time. They're basketball shoes, but people love them, love the shoes because LeBron actually puts a lot of effort into what goes into his shoes. The latest technology, the design aspect is the most taken care of for LeBron's because this dude urges Nike to not give the public a pair that is cheaper. He'll make the pair more expensive, but he'll give you the best quality pair, and that's what says it all because he wants to preserve his legacy for the future generations. His son LeBron James Jr. or Bronny James, he's going to continue his legacy. I think LeBron James and Bronny James are going to be the first father and son active duo in the NBA, and that says it all because his son is going to be 19 and LeBron James is going to be 21. I'm sorry, 40. my bad, guys. He's going to be 21 years into his professional career. So that says it all because that dude, he knows how to hustle. I think for me, the best hustler of all time has to be LeBron James because this dude did a lot to become what he is today, and he deserves to be a billionaire, man. Because he put in a lot of work. He's just a small kid from Akron, Ohio. Not a small kid, he's 6'8". Not a small kid. Akron, Ohio.
As tall as you.
No, he's 2 inches, 3 inches taller than me.
Damn.
He's a great dude. I want to meet him someday.
So let's come back to the lingo. We came a long way from sneakers to ballers to billionaires. Let's come back to the lingo. We talked about sneakerheads, hypebeasts, consignments.
Okay, so consignments is what I make 50% of my money from. Consignment, okay, I'll explain consignments in a very simple way. Okay, so this is the shoe. I am the buyer. This mic is Hustle Kiqs, and that's Kunal. That's the seller. So Kunal will, this mic will contact Kunal. Okay, Kunal, I saw this shoe and I want to buy it off you. I want to consign it for you.
You're the buyer and I am the seller.
I'm the buyer and you're the seller. So he'll consign it. You'll come to this mic and you'll say, or he'll come to you either which ways, and you'll have an agreement. Ki, Acha, I want to sell this shoe for 10,000 rupees. And what he'll do is this mic will consign the shoe for 11,000, 12,000, and when I pay, and suppose I'm the buyer, so I am interested for 12,000. Okay, I really want to buy this shoe for 12,000. I'll pay the 12,000 amount to this mic. This mic will pay 10,000 to Kunal. Kunal will ship the pair to me, and the mic has 2,000 rupees in its wallet. So
it's sort of like drop shipping.
It's like drop shipping, but they're different in some ways because the mic might have to get the shoe in his own hands to verify the pair and all. But yeah, it's somewhat drop shipping. But consignment is basically it's more of a popular thing. It's more of a popular thing in cases of stores. So what you do is it's like a pawn shop, right?
Middleman profits.
Yeah, middleman profits. Exactly, middleman profits. So
alright.
Consigning it's a pretty good thing. If you're into shoes, then try consigning pairs and make good bags. So yeah.
I tried this thing. I tried drop shipping of hoodies with Shaurya Mathur.
Okay.
He was on episode 1 of this show.
Yeah.
That's why he was, because I have this sort of a business relationship with him. He and I got hoodies manufactured, like printed and shipped through printify.com. We uploaded these designs on Etsy.com, and then there were buyers on Etsy, and then we would like drop ship them from Printify to directly Etsy.
That's a good hustle. That's a great side hustle, I'd say. And my advice is, if you want to get into it, your marketing campaign, because in the hoodie business, in the t-shirt business, in the printing business, the competition is insane. So your marketing campaign, your advertisement campaign has to be on, you have to be on your feet. You have to be really precise with your
designs and marketing.
Designs and your TG. I was looking for the word. TA. TA, target audience. Your target audience has to be very crisp and very, a particular.
A good niche.
Good niche in order to, sell your pairs and you want to advertise your shoes to them. So what you can do is you can post Instagram ads and all, and boost your posts and all. They'll charge an extra money for that, extra amount for that. But yeah, it's a good way to get your business going. And word of mouth is very important as well. For example, I told 2-3 people in my school that okay, I have a sneaker business. You want to buy a shoe or what? And then right now I think 70 or 80% people in class grade 12 in our batch know that I have a sneaker business.
I got to know about Hustle Kiqs when you put out a story that he sold this NFT for $3,000 plus, and this was more money than you ever made through your sneaker business.
It was almost 30-40% of what I had made from sneakers, and this NFT thing, it was okay. I'm not against it, but it's not the right time to enter the NFT market because everything that starts, it has an initial life. For example, if you release an IPO, it has
Let's come to NFTs later.
Cool, I'm cool with that.
Because I sorry for being a little bit on control, but I need to regulate this. We'll come to NFTs definitely.
For sure.
I have one of those questions mentioned here, NFTs and sports cards.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the lingo. Retail.
Yeah, lingo. Okay, retail. Retail is what Nike charges for the pair. Nike charges for a pair of Jordan 1 highs. The regular retail is 13,995. 30,995.
So the retail is market price.
No, market price is the resale value of the shoe. Retail is what Nike charges for that pair. Because initially the pair is going to
D2C.
Sorry?
The D2C price.
I'm not sure what that is.
Direct to consumer.
Yep. That's what the D2C price is, or the MRP, the maximum retail price. But then after the pairs are over, after the pairs are sold out at retail, they increase in value because people want to pay more for that pair, and it's all natural.
So it sort of gets, after all the retail is sold out, retail stock is sold out, it becomes C2C, consumer to consumer business.
Exactly.
Alright.
Or as we in simpler words, as we call it, the aftermarket business.
Yeah. Or the black market business.
So guys, I am under a registered LLC. So no.
Just kidding, just kidding.
No names to be taken. I'm not a snitch. Okay. I know some people, but it's not black market because if your revenue is under 5 lakh a year, I think you're good because this sneaker business is small scale, and all the large scale sneaker resellers, they're under a proper tax form or something. I'm not really sure because my father's office they handle all that stuff. So I'm only into selling shoes and
He's great at sales.
My portfolio is sales and buying shoes. I like buying shoes, but I've
negotiations.
I have a NDA with someone, non-disclosure agreement with someone. There's a person who buys shoes for me at a good price. So, for example, if a shoe is in market for 20k, he's going to buy it for me at 17,000 and sell it to me for 17,300, 17,400. Because obviously he has to make his own money. Why he won't buy that pair for 17,000 is because he doesn't have the money to hold such a pair. I have the money to hold that pair for 17,000 and then find a buyer and sell it for 20k. So in this case, it's not a consignor, because in this case, I am in the consumer to consumer business. I am the one who's selling the pair. It's my pair. I own the pair. In consignment, you don't get to own the pair. In this case, I am getting to own the pair, and in that case, my intern or that guy, he is the middleman.
So the distribution channel in this case goes like the retailer, the person who's selling it, your supplier,
the one
you.
Who bought it? No. Retailer, the one who bought it, my middleman who's going to buy the shoe for me.
Alright.
And then it's me because I'm going to buy the shoe again off him, and then it's my end buyer.
Damn, it's like you got so many distribution channels in place, a great supply chain. You got consignments and this distribution channel.
Anything works for me. Well, I'm getting into this new thing called sourcing as well. Right now it's exclusive to only top 5% of my customers. What I do is, if someone wants a shoe that is not available in the market, I'll try my best to get that shoe from USA or get it from anywhere in the world and get it delivered to him. In that case, someone else owns the pair. I'll track down the pair, I'll locate the pair, and then I'll buy the pair for him. He'll pay the money to me, and then and I'll pay the money to the seller, and he's going to ship it to me. So that's sourcing. But yeah, that's a pretty good thing as well. But you need to have a really strong market branding. You need to have a strong portfolio, strong image in the market to really source this for a lot of people. I do have that kind of image, but I'm not. I took a break, so my sourcing clients they got a little dislocated because they haven't been coming to me that often. But I'm happy because it's all natural growth. So sourcing is something that is good. That if you want to be perfect in sourcing, it's going to take some time. But yeah, it has good amount of profit as well.
So you're talking that you do sourcing only for the top 5% of your buyers.
Yeah,
You're mentioning a lot about sellers, your NDA. So tell me about the attitudes of your sellers and buyers. Like
Yeah, I couldn't get you.
the attitudes, like the two-way relationship with your sellers and buyers.
Mhm.
Because from what I understand, that most of your buyers, you meet them on socials, like Instagram.
Yep.
So how do you develop relationships with these people?
What I do, okay guys, so if you want to get into sneaker business now, I'm going to give you a very good tip to grow and to get buyers. First of all, when I enter the market, to all my first time buyers, I give them for example, if they're buying, if they want to buy a shoe with me for like 18,000 rupees, I'm going to give it to them for 17,500. I'm going to give them discount so that they come to me again and again in order to buy more shoes, and then I can charge the money. Then I wanna reward them. For example, what an airline does is, an airline will offer you a seat in business class for the first 2-3 times, and then they're gonna make you travel economy only because you're really used to that airline, and that's how you cultivate a buyer market and a seller market as well. Because in case of a seller, it's opposite. So if a seller is asking for 18,000 rupees, I'm gonna pay him 18,500 to so that the next time he has a good shoe for a good price that I can flip and make a profit, he's gonna come to me only to sell that pair. And that is how you get into market and cultivate sellers and buyers. You reward them initially. You thank them. You pay them a small amount of money for for maintaining a goodwill, and then they'll stay loyal to you.
This person is definitely going to become a billionaire.
No, bro. It's on my it's not yet checked on my list, but yeah, it's maybe someday, not a billionaire.
It's that insignificant for you now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, who doesn't want to be a billionaire?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a billionaire, but it's all about the grind. If you have the passion, if you have the mentality, the you versus you mentality to grind your way into becoming a billionaire, I am sure you can do it. But you have to find a profitable business. But more than that, you have to put hours and hours of hard work and brain into what you're doing, and grow your sellers and grow your buyers, and expand as well. You have to expand as well. Expanding your business is really important.
Growth before profit.
Growth before profit, yes. Growth before profit. And for growing, I've also started this hustle chat. So
Yeah, tell me a little about that.
So hustle chat, okay. I was kind of bored by only selling shoes and making profit. It was getting boring. I mean, getting money is never boring, but I wanted to try something new, a little bit different, something which is going to excite the people. So I started with this concept called, it's been done before. It's not my concept. I don't take credits for the concept. But I was one of the first people in India, the first 5 or 6 people in India to introduce this thing. My chat group is called Hustle Chat. It's currently live as well. No new members for now. Okay, the memberships has been closed. I charge a premium fee for a certain amount of people, and they pay that fee to me. And then, for example, if a shoe is selling for 20,000 rupees, I'm gonna give it to them for 15,000, 14,000, 13,000. I'm gonna drop it on the group, and it's going to be sold on an FCFS basis, or on a first come first serve basis. So the first one to say that I want this shoe, I will buy this shoe, get this shoe for this price, and he'll obviously earn a massive profit of that shoe. So he's getting his money back plus the profit, and if he cops 2-3 shoes on that hustle chart, he's making 10,000, 15,000 from a small 4,000 rupee investment. So you don't have to see the
So you're giving them their money back while selling them the shoe.
And do you want to know how I make the profit on this thing? The market for the shoe is 20 grand. I drop it for 15 grand, 50 rupees obviously. I buy it for 17 grand, 17.5 grand. So I tell them that I give you 5,000 rupees of that value, but the truth of the matter is that I only took a loss of about 2,500 rupees. So that I took a loss of 2,500 rupees, but they're getting a profit of 5,000 rupees. So what I'll do is I'll reduce 2,500 from my budget, from my hustle chart, from the membership fee I get. Instead of reducing 2,500, I'll reduce 3,000 rupees from the budget.
Wait.
It's a little complicated.
The economics are a bit complicated. Let's deep dive into this so that the others get some idea. You take 4,000 rupees membership fees for the hustle chart. Yeah. Now you drop that shoe design that you are selling this, and you originally bought that from your seller for 20 grand.
No, the market price is 20 grand.
The market price is 20 grand. You bought it for
17,500 because it's the middle value.
Yeah.
And I dropped it for 15,000. So my buyer, my member, has a potential 5,000 rupee profit, but he has a 5,000. I'm showing them that I am giving you a 5,000 rupee profit, but
it's actually 1,000.
But for me, it's a 2,500 rupee loss. So I'm taking a 2,500 rupee loss and I'm giving them 5,000 rupee profit. So okay, I've taken a 2,500 rupee loss, right? So what I have to do is I have to reduce 2,500 rupees from my group budget, from the money that I collected. So this money, because that loss is being taken on it's being consumed by the amount of money I generate from the total number of memberships. In this case, it's around 60-70k, hardly matters. But instead of reducing 2,500 rupees, I'll reduce 3,000 rupees. So that's 500 rupees. That's 500 rupees for myself. And if I drop about 25 pairs or 30 pairs of shoes, that's
so that 4,000 you take for the membership is sort of a security deposit.
No, it's not a security deposit. It's a fee that I charge. It's not refundable.
Oh.
It's gonna.
So that covers your profit and that loss that you.
It covers my loss that I'm gonna take to drop that shoe.
All right.
And with that loss, I add a little fee to it, and that fee is what my profit is.
That 500 rupees.
That 500 rupees is my profit. And
what about you said that you take 3,000 as a coverage for your losses.
Okay.
But your loss is actually 2,500. You gain 500 profit.
Yeah.
What about the other 1,000 out of that 4,000? What do you do with that?
That's the group budget. Because 4,000 is the fee, right? So that's the group budget. So it'll be used as group budget because it's not 4,000. It's actually 4,000 for 20 members. So that it's 80,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So जैसे अभी 2,500 कम हुआ. So now my new budget is 77,500. I'll again reduce 2,500 from it. And maybe make a 500 rupee profit on that one. So it keeps depleting, and when it reaches zero, I'll tell them, okay guys, now the group budget is finished, and now we won't have any more drops. And they're happy, I'm happy as well, and I have made a
Oh, that's pretty smart. So sort of, you've collected 80,000 rupees, and then you take 3,000 rupees from that every time you make a drop.
I make a drop, and out of that 3,000 rupees, 500 is my profit.
So it's sort of it's like a game. To play a game, you take a life, and then this life has like 3,000 rupees
Yeah,
worth.
we can put it in that way, but
That analogy.
it's slightly complicated for you all because it's something very new. But obviously, when you get to know about it, it has potential for making good money. You can get your pockets filled with this system. So that 500 rupee profit, that's not 500 rupees. If I'm making 1000 rupees per pair in this case and I'm dropping 20, 30, 40 shoes, 30 shoes on an average, then I'm gaining 30,000 rupees by just doing a side job. And it's like a side hustle to my main side hustle. So like it's a sub side hustle, right? And it's a good source of income as well. So I won't obviously reveal my profits because that's not the I will be slightly uncomfortable telling the profits, but it is a good side hustle. I mean, you can earn if you have a good market image. If you have a good image in your market, you can start this and make good money as well. So yeah, it's a good option for you.
By the way, the yawn right now wasn't because I'm getting bored with the convo. It's actually I've been very tired with the editing, the video editing for these podcasts and everything. They take a lot of screen time, bro.
I'm having a Nescafe intense right now. My parents, they had to leave for Sikkim today at 5:30 a.m. and I slept at 3:30. I couldn't sleep as well because I was watching.
I'm off caffeine right now, so that's why I'm not taking.
I'm already like I'm on 1 hour of sleep and I have to go to Hoskars after this to pick up some slides and then I have to go to my grandmom's place.
He's on 1 hour of sleep and he made 11 sales today.
No. Yesterday I made 11 sales. Right?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Today I've only made 4.
Right now, while I came in and I was setting up the mics and the camera angle, he made 1 sale.
I made a sale, yeah.
Yeah, you made a sale.
Yeah.
Like in those 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, because before you came, the buyer was already there. There was just the the finishing touches were left,
Yeah.
payment and all was left. So I made the sale. Everyone is happy now.
That's still work. Like you're
And-
working parallelly. That's real hustle.
And as the podcast is going on, that pair has already been shipped and it's on the road on the way to the buyer. So he paid me the money. Paid me the money at around 1 p.m. if I'm not wrong, and he's gonna get his shoe by 7 p.m. So it's same
Damn.
day. So yeah.
Great service.
No. It's just service, you can compromise profit for your service because because same day shipping is slightly expensive, but at the same time, I'm not, reducing my profit. That profit is going to be covered in goodwill because if I'm giving him the pair on the same day, then he'll tend to buy again and again from me, and I have that profit recovered in goodwill. So I'm getting a lot of goodwill as well.
So basically, you're not focused on getting more customers. You focus on getting a bigger community because it's about goodwill.
It's about goodwill. I'll be very honest with you guys. I had my goodwill destroyed before. So it's not always. It's real for me. I had a couple of fights before as well. Some beefs and all. Some fights. Some abusive language as well. Nothing physical, but yeah, there were some issues with me. But I never ever compromised on my customers. It was related to behavior, I guess. A general fight between people, and there was a dark patch as well for me for like 2 months. But then I recovered. It's bygone. But yeah, I mean, these things happen, and you have to have a mentality to recover from your dark days and get up again and start selling. Take a break, maybe 7 days, 8-10 days. Refresh yourself. Give yourself a treat. Always. Yeah. One thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go off topic again. One thing I think you should always do is treat yourself for what you do. So, for example, if I'm selling 50 pairs a week and I'm making 100 rupees profit out of the whole thing, then I'm gonna give 5 rupees to myself to actually celebrate selling all those pairs and treating myself for what I have done to keep me motivated for the next 50 pairs of shoes. So that's one thing that everyone should ever do. So if you've recorded 10 podcasts and successfully launched like 15-20 podcasts, I'd say that you buy yourself a plate of sushi or whatever you like and treat yourself and get on to the next 10 podcasts. So next 10 podcasts. So obviously you have to treat yourself.
This is something similar to what I read in Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Have you read the book? So what he says that
I don't know what that is.
he's a great entrepreneur and a financier. He's the author of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. You might know the book. You don't know? You should check it out, bro. You would love it.
I'm okay. I'm more into newspaper. I'm not into
Oh.
I don't read a lot. I have to start reading, but
It's a 150 to 100 page book. You will like it, and it's not exactly like one of those novels. It's got diagrams explaining about personal finance. So, one point it mentions is that you should first take money for yourself. You get your salary 20,000 rupees per month. For example, you get 20,000. You first take away 100 rupees of that for yourself.
yes,
And then you pay your bills, then you invest, then you put into your savings.
So firstly, when I started, I did it the opposite way. Okay, if I'm making 10,000 a week, I'm gonna keep 9,000 rupees for reinvesting the money, and I'm gonna obviously keep 1,000 rupees for myself, for my own use. And I always reward myself. Now that I've started to earn a lot more from the sneaker business, I try and give myself like 5,000-6,000 rupees a month. Just reward myself. Have a pizza maybe. Have a plate of sushi. That's really expensive these days, by the way. It's shit expensive. It's more than it's more than two profit of like 2-3 pairs of shoes combined. So sushi,
I've never eaten sushi.
you should try. It's expensive. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Try sushi.
It's raw fish, bro.
No, there's vegetarian sushi as well. There's chicken sushi as well.
Oh.
Yeah. It's great. But like rewarding yourself. So for example, for me it's sushi. For someone else, it's maybe buying a new painting, buying a new book, buying a new pair of shoes. I know people who reward themselves for shoes, and I know people who do this business just to buy their own pairs of shoes. So that's their motivation. So you have to have some sort of motivation to keep you going. So after like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you have to have that mindset that इस हफ्ते की sushi खानी है ना bro, तो मुझे 10 जोड़े बेचने पड़ेंगे. I have to sell 10 pairs if I want to eat this sushi, and I really want to eat this sushi. So you get what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean?
Motivation.
Yeah, you have to have that motivation. You have to motivate yourself. Stay on the course and grind your way.
I am loving this conversation with you, and I am loving the fact that we are like deviating a bit from muscle kicks and sneakers and talking about all this personal finance
That's hustle kicks.
that's what you have learned from hustle kicks.
Yeah, that's my
Through the
that's
process.
What I've gained. That's the whole
Yeah.
process. And seriously, if you wanna do something new, you'll find the process boring. You'll find it challenging. You'll find it tough. But at the end of the day, if you fall in love with the process, I guarantee you're gonna make billions or millions. Money is gonna be secondary, but you'll be happy in life. If you wanna be happy, you have to love what you do. And this thing is my passion. I love doing it. I'm really connected to it. And the money might not be as great and there might not be security as a regular paying Google job or something like that. But I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I have the money to sustain myself. Then you should keep going for it, because if you love what you do, you'll have extra motivation and extra passion and extra fuel in your tank to really cover the distance and build your own empire. So yeah, I think you should do what you love.
I said that I am loving this conversation a lot, and we're a lot over time. But let's go on with this recording, and then I'll divide this episode into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. It's gonna be so. This conversation is great, bro.
See,
I'm loving it.
So if you love something, you can talk about it. Obviously, I love what I do, so I can talk about it for hours and hours. And you can if you want, you can take content for like next 5-6 episodes because I know what I'm doing. You need to know what you're doing. So for example, if I was doing I had an internship in a street-based company, street fashion company. I was an editor, a news editor. I didn't like what I did. I was editing news articles for their website. I won't take the name, but I didn't like what I did. So I had no motivation, and I quit 7 days before I had to. And it really didn't push me. Doing sneakers, it pushes me. So you got to do what you love, man. So yeah.
So before I end this part, the part 1, I would just like to say that when I'm releasing my 100th episode of the podcast, 98 weeks from now, I am going to put out a reel or a bit of this podcast and then put out the part where you say that you should love the process, you should love what you do, and then I am going to say that this is what pushed me for the coming 98 weeks,
You
or the
get your
past
100
98
episodes,
weeks.
You get your this thing, no matter what your followers are. If you love the process, if I see you loving the process, if you know what you're doing, I see that you love your process. You have the equipment, you have the passion for it. I might as well be your first endorsement or your sponsor. I'd love to support your journey as well, because if you love what you do, then I'd say if you want to invest in a company that is going to make money, but they don't have passion for it, don't do it. Invest in someone who loves this company, who loves his hustle, who loves his business for real. If it's his passion. So if you love what you do, then you're set for life, man. You're gonna get to where you're gonna get to a point where you're earning like the bigs as well, the riches as well. So you have to stay on course.
These mics you mentioned are actually borrowed from my Cinemates club. We've got a podcast, Cinemates podcast. Shout out to Cinemates,
Shout out, Cinema.
Yash Raipati, Twisha Singhal, Atharv and Arav, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's take a break and then we'll continue
For sure,
later.
for sure.